Welcome back to the channel. This is Holden from Classroom Camp, and it looks like we have another massive teacher protest on our hands. We're going to take a look at an article, and the headline reads, Denver Public Schools closing more than half of its schools Thursday as teachers protest funding. Now, today is Wednesday, tomorrow is Thursday, so this is upon us. This is published on cbsnews.com March 18th, 2025. And exactly why are all these teachers protesting? Well, we're going to answer that question here in this video, but before we get to that, I do have a quick favor to ask. If you could please like this video, that helps me out here on YouTube. Also subscribe to the channel if you enjoy educational content and you want to see more news stories like this, and hit that notification bell so that way you never miss out on a video from Classroom Camp. So let's get right into it. Denver Public Schools, like other districts, is facing a significant number of teacher absences on Thursday, the day the state's teachers union is organizing a rally to protest the state of education funding in Colorado. On Tuesday, the district announced that only 85 of its 207 schools will be open Thursday. 122 schools will be closed. Wow, that is a lot of schools. And it says here that DPS Superintendent Alex Marrero released an operational plan with a list of schools that will remain open, saying that while we support fully funded education, we wish their action didn't have a direct impact on students' education. DPS reports that more than 1,000 teachers have called out for Thursday. And Denver Public Schools is not the only district being affected by this. Other neighboring districts as well, and possibly more in Colorado, because this is a statewide issue. This is not exclusive to Denver. Continuing on, it says our goal is to do everything that we can to keep our schools open so that our students do not lose a day of important instruction due to this event. In addition to the educational instruction that students will be missing out on, many of our students count on their schools for social emotional support, mental health resources, and the only 2 meals that they will have to eat that day, said Marrero. DPS is using guest teachers and central office employees to help staff the open schools. And you can see here a list of all the schools that will be open. So if you are in the Denver area, you might want to take note of this, because you just might show up tomorrow and see that your school is not open. And the final statement here, it says Boulder Valley School District and Adams 12 schools opted to cancel classes at all on Thursday, saying that hundreds of expected teacher absences for the No More Cuts rally made it impossible for them to operate safely. So yeah, a couple of other districts are just fully closed, like I said, because of this rally, this protest against the state of education in Colorado. Now, we have seen teacher protests. As a matter of fact, we saw another protest recently in Texas, I believe, that it was actually students not showing up to school. Well, here we have teachers not showing up to school, and what it comes down to is the lack of funding in Colorado. I had to do some digging to get to the actual crux of this issue, and this article here breaks it all down. It says that Colorado Education Association's No More Cuts Day, which is tomorrow on Thursday, on March 20, invites educators, students, families, and community partners to Capitol to rally for public education funding, which is currently facing cuts as legislators try to plug a $1.2 billion budget hole. Colorado chronically underfunds its public schools by $4,000 to $4,500 per student per year compared to the national average. Now facing a budget shortfall for more than $1 billion, we must prevent state legislators from cutting public education funding to balance their budget. The Colorado Education Association states in its invitation to educators, let's be clear, a cut is a cut and students pay the price. And that is exactly correct. And this is interesting considering in my last video this week, I talked about how in the state of Texas, they are actually increasing funding for education. Here it looks like there is a perpetual decrease that is causing some issues. And some of the factors here, for example, it says Colorado ranks 46th in the nation for starting teacher salaries, 46th of 50 states at $39,044 according to data from the National Education Association. This is significantly below Colorado's minimum living wage of $65,605. Roughly 48% of educators report not being able to afford to live near their work. All right. So, a lot of things here. Students underfunded and everyone paying for this as a result. So I can understand why they are having this No More Cuts rally. And as in my opinion, I support it. I support it. As a matter of fact, I think that if I was teaching in Colorado, you would probably see me out there somewhere holding a sign or something. I've never participated in a rally or a protest in my entire life, but for something like this that is near and dear to me, especially teaching, and if you got more than half of the schools closed and our school is closed and I got a day off work and my coworkers are going to be out there hanging out, eating hamburgers, hot dogs, and holding up signs, trying to make a statement in the field of education, well, why not? What else do I have to do? You might see me out there, if nothing else, just taking my my nice camera out there and photoing the event. I'd probably get some really good pictures. That's the only time I've ever attended a protest in the past, was just so I could take pictures, not necessarily to protest. That's a whole other story. But this just goes to show you that, education is in such a state that things need to change and teachers need to speak out and voice their opinions in a non-threatening, non-violent way. But it looks like this is a coordinated effort within the state. Which they have invited parents, students, everyone to participate this and make it known. And clearly it is working, because here I am on YouTube covering the story and talking about this because it is such a monumental issue in Colorado. Now, the other thing that I find interesting here is, just how this relates to the grander scale, the larger scope of education in the United States, because we do know that the Department of Education on the federal level is facing some issues as well. There have been massive layoffs there, as well as issues with funding. I know that funding has been cut for programs that relate to DEI and things like that, and Trump is pushing, and that administration is pushing to give power back to the states. And one of the things that is a concern is, well, you give the power back to the states, but some of the states are really struggling. And it looks like Colorado might be one of those states that is kind of facing its own issues. And in this case, I think that Colorado needs to take inspiration from some neighboring states, some of the states that are doing much better where education is concerned, and try to revamp their education system that way. Now, I'm no politician, so I don't know how the funding stuff works. I don't know if Colorado has the funding for education, is just withholding that, or what exactly the situation is. But like I said, I know that in Texas, they're actually increasing funding for education because there's a teacher shortage there, and they really need to do something about it. I think that if you care about education and you care about teachers, you care about students, you care about generations, you care about democracy and all that, you need to put your money where your mouth is. You need to put the funding towards education. So this is an interesting event. I'm curious to see how it turns out. I will be following this story because, like I said, tomorrow is Thursday, and it will be interesting to see X, to get on X or Twitter, TikTok possibly, to see what other teachers are doing and saying about this. I find it truly fascinating. But in any case, hey, the floor is now yours. And are you teaching in Colorado? Are you going to be attending this event? Or if you're watching this in the future, did you attend this event? How did it go? What do you think about teacher protests? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, the issues of funding. What can be done to improve the funding situation in Colorado or other states that are facing similar issues? Let us know in the comment section. And as I said at the beginning, please make sure to like this video because it helps me out here on the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this kind of educational content, especially news, and you want to see more of it. Hit that notification bell so that way you get notifications anytime I post a new video. I think that's all I have for you in this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.